I have wanted to finish many times, and today we're here to talk about Mortal Kombat 2. 2, Tanner. They made another one. In reality, it's like, I mean, there's like 4 like live action ones, but I think there's also some animated ones. Like, this is Mortal Kombat.
There's animated ones. Oh, yeah. Like exactly. And Chuck, there's also quite a few video games, though, I understand.
At least 12?
One.
At least one. There's at least one of them.
I own Mortal Kombat 1, so there's at least one.
That must, and that's new, so that must be the only one. We're here to talk about the film Mortal Kombat 2. Tanner, can you believe they woke Simon McQuoid up from his fucking tomb to like make another movie? He's like, well, I haven't been doing anything.
Raiden came out and he's shocked him back to life for Mortal Kombat 2.
But yeah, we watched the movie, Tanner.
It's time.
How do you feel about it?
You know, Chuck, I can't say that I'm particularly a fan of this film. I think it is better than the first one marginally for reasons that we will get into. But, you know, was anybody really expecting this movie to be like, and I don't know your thoughts on it, to be like really good or whatever, or some sort of like a shot in the arm for the video game movie genre or whatever. But you know, it has a certain committal to doing more Mortal Kombat things. Of course, one of the major chief complaints, especially of fans of the first movie, was that there's no Mortal Kombat in it. Yes. It ends with the promise of them doing Mortal Kombat, which they do in this film.
They don't waste any goddamn time. They're like, you fucking understand. We're just doing it.
I think there are some script issues in Mortal Kombat 2. I think it also falls into the trappings that a lot of, like, you know, translating popular IP from different format to movie. It happens a lot with video games where they need to hedge all of the things in like a little irony in a quip from a character to diffuse like how silly it is or whatever. And at this point, culturally, can we not just let the thing be silly? We all know what we're doing here. You don't need to like assuage the average moviegoer. You're making Mortal Kombat 2. We know what we're getting into, okay? I don't need Jax or whatever to be like, wouldn't want to fight a god. Or it's like, that's what you're doing. Don't be like, don't try to diffuse this or sarcastically approach this. Just approach it in earnest, okay? That is all I ask. There's not a lot of earnesty to go around in Mortal Kombat 2, which is not my major thing. You know, I think it is broadly just like a woodenly acted, and I'll even say that some of these fights were not great in my estimation. But I'm rambling. Tucker, what did you think?
I don't remember thinking very much positive about the first movie, and I kind of just think back on it of like, yeah, that fucking happened, and like it kind of just left my mind. And so stepping back into that world, because this is a very direct continuation, was like, oh yeah, that's right. Like when the actress who plays Sonya walked into frame, I'm like, was she? I'm like, is that like discount Bryn Charlize Theron? Like, what's happening?
She looks a lot like Charlize Theron, which I don't remember thinking about the first one, but really clicked for me this time.
It's amazing. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's right. And at first I'm like, oh, that's Cassie. And they're like, no, wait. No. No. We haven't seen to that point in the franchise. We haven't seen Johnny Cage, so it couldn't be Cassie. I'm like, oh, that's oh yeah, Sonya's a thing. And so like I was really like, I tumbled into this movie and I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick up the scratch. Like, oh, Metal Arms guy. Oh, that's Jax. Oh, of course. Oh, Shang Tsung, Quan Chi, Shao Kahn. Like, and I'm like, okay, one of these is Kung Lao. Kung
Lao, of course, died, as we all recall, tragically in the previous film.
But so I just like, I felt very unmoored. For like the first 30 minutes of this movie, I was like picking up the pieces and trying to remember who was in the first movie and what the relationships were, and the especially like the hierarchy and the villains. Like, there's so much bullshit going on there. But I think where this movie succeeds is in, I think, understanding that and giving the audience two ends. This is a dual protagonist narrative of both Kitana and Johnny Cage, it being new characters, having the film follow both of their character arcs and having them be meaningfully integrated into the narrative to where you're following both of their stories. And so, and I think for me, those are my two favorite characters in the movie. I think almost everyone else feels like ancillary, where I'm like, okay, I like decently care for what the stakes are about like Katana's people being taken over, her like
Mm-hmm.
subverting to Earth Realm to like get one over on Shao Kahn. Like that's okay. Like for the context of this, that's a decently compelling narrative. And then you have like the fish out of water element of Johnny Cage, who has no idea what's happening, whatever.
Right.
So having that in and having those two characters who I actually quite do like in the movie, that is like a massive step up for me. And I think that is another area. There's two areas where I think this movie understood its assignment in comparison to the first film, which is having characters that you recognize and at least decently care about from the IP being the protagonist, which is a big step up from the last movie, who had I saw the movie yesterday.
Cole Young. Tucker. I can't believe you forget his name. Of course,
they do him so much justice in this movie, Tanner.
Absolutely, they do.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a second. But then the other element being that like they really just like. It's like, okay, the Mortal Kombat's happening. Like, it's going to be mostly fight sequences, and that's definitely also a step up. A lot of padding, a lot of trying to get you into the world in the first film, where they're like, guys, we'll fucking move on with it, and they just get into it here. And I think those are both areas where I was like pleasantly surprised. I don't think either of them work out perfectly. I think this is a decent movie, a fun enough time, but not anything exceptional. Because also the script is pretty weak, and like the world building is like present, but takes a lot for granted in ways that I don't think are particularly satisfying. And so I did like this movie. I was pleasantly surprised by it because it fixed some critiques that I have with the first one, and I do think it's a step up. But I'm not like over the moon about it. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have a fun enough time watching this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and again, I must return to it's Mortal Kombat 2.
Yes,
and you know what you're getting at. You know what you're getting into. Especially because, yes, they immediately pick up on, okay, guys, we're doing Mortal Kombat. We got, like, the little life indicators up in the sky or whatever.
Fun. I like that.
Yeah, for sure. Anything that's a little bit ham-fisted, trying to, like, pry video game things into the film format, I'm like, this is so dumb and stupid that it's kind of charming a little bit.
They don't question or explain anything at all that, like, Raiden's powers can just like teleport you wherever you fucking want to with his lightning.
Exactly. And so yeah, we basically get started immediately there. Unless I'm there's a little bit of onboarding. The cold open is this flashback, this origin story of Katana and everything like that. And then we jump immediately to, hey guys, we're ready to walk through the portal and do Mortal Kombat? Hold up, time out, hang on a second, we're down a guy. We got at the last minute, we got to pick up our new pal, Johnny Cage. Yeah. Karl Urban is Johnny Cage. Tucker, this is why the Season 5 pacing is so bad, because they got fucking Billy Butcher out doing fucking Mortal Kombat. Yeah. That's why. We'll get to Katana in a second, because I think I'm generally more positive on her and the actress's name,
Adeline
which
Rudolph.
is... Thank you. But I do want to start on...
She's very pretty.
Yeah, sure. I also, I saw this with our friends Sam and Joe. I also saw this with my fiance Anna, who is a big fan of the Netflix series, or CW series, which is now on Netflix, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which both Katana and Jade are in.
Oh. Yeah.
So
Tanner.
But anyway.
Tati Gabrielle, the actress for Jade.
Yes.
Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet.
Oh.
That's the next Naughty Dog game, Tanner.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. But I want to talk about Karl Urban as
also,
Johnny
she's
Cage.
the villain in Uncharted, the movie.
Yeah, of course. I looked up her filmography last night. I was like, oh yeah, she's in Uncharted.
I don't remember anything about her from that movie. I just know it happened.
No. I want to talk about Karl Urban as Johnny Cage, the centerpiece of the marketing of this film, basically. The new protagonist for all intents and purposes. And it's a pretty lazy way to do a Johnny Cage story, I would say, sure. Where he's a washed up actor / martial artist from the 90s or whatever, and now he's a big loser in the 21st century. But wouldn't you know it, he's gonna have to find renewed purpose by saving the world and doing a Mortal Kombat.
No, it's not purpose. What's the word they use? Raiden keeps using a word that he needs to find his determination or some shit.
Perspective?
Perspective, yeah. What does that mean?
Yes.
I think that's really stupid. What is new perspective on fucking what? Life, I guess? I don't like. And what's the perspective?
He's got a new perspective.
I don't know. I'm Johnny fucking Cage. That's not.
The writing for Johnny Cage is pretty goddamn weak throughout the entire movie, especially because for half the movie they make Karl Urban be like a oh, I don't know, guys, I feel kind of depressed. I don't know if I'm cut out for this. So it's like, just make him fucking confident Johnny Cage the whole time. Listen, I just rewatched the Paul W.S. Anderson movie, and I don't fucking know the name of the guy who plays Johnny Cage in that movie, but he's a good Johnny Cage because from second one, he is on screen being like, I'm Johnny fucking Cage. I can do this shit. I'm gonna beat anybody. I'm gonna beat everybody up. It's like, yeah, this is fun to watch him be like this.
I think especially by the end of the movie, I was like, this is like a soft Johnny Cage. Like, I think Karl Urban...
He went woke. They made Johnny Cage woke. That's the position that we're taking. They made him soft. No, I'm
it's
fucking
like,
around.
It's not... It's soft in that, like, it feels... The edges are sanded down from him. I think that Karl Urban understands the assignment for this version of Johnny Cage. I personally kind of like the angle of he's not an active movie star. He, like, is like reflecting on his past or whatever. I like him watching his, like,
for me, it's just it's a little
from karate or whatever. I'm like, that's kind of funny. But
for me, it's just a little chalk of like it seems a little like first pass. It was like, well, what would Johnny Cage be like in the 21st century? Well, he'd be like this guy. I was like, that I guess he would. Yes.
Yeah.
But they don't do a lot of they don't do a lot of development from there. I guess I would say, or nothing that really interested me at least.
Yeah, because I think that also. What's interesting about this movie is that I think that it's largely paced pretty well in terms of like keeping the momentum going and not slowing down too much. But I do think that it could have done with one less action sequence and some more time to establish who the characters are. I really would have wanted to learn two things: more of what Johnny's life is like currently. We see him at a convention and we see him at a bar. Those are the only two times he's like not involved in a crazy shit. And it's like, okay, that's like a decent place, but I'm like who does he have friends? Like, what's his family life like? Like, I get these questions, and then the other question I really wanted answered, is like just some basic world building stuff. It's like, why is the Mortal Kombat happening now? And also, how did the Elder Gods choose Johnny Cage? And then they just like. They're like, oh, we need a guy. Oh, here's Johnny Cage. And I'm just like,
well, what the Elder Gods did is they looked at the fighter select from the first Mortal Kombat game, and they're like, we didn't do Johnny Cage in the first movie. What? Are we fucking stupid? But speaking of Tucker of not doing a character from the first movie, to your point about like, oh, why didn't this scene of establishing character for Johnny happen? I think it's because a lot of people complained about them doing that stuff for Cole Young in the first movie or various other characters in the first movie. And people were like, I don't care about this bullshit. Give me Mortal Kombat. Sure. And they somewhat learned their lesson, but I think the real takeaway is that they should write their movies better because both versions of it just getting you in on the ground floor immediately with the character and running with it from there, or establishing and giving you actually time to live with them in their personal lives can be good if you were good at writing a movie. Yes. And I would say that is Simon McQuoid the writer on this too?
It's a guy whose name
Jeremy Slater.
Yeah,
Jeremy Slater. Whoa, holy shit, this guy.
Is he like the worst writer ever made?
Fuck. Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, Fant Four Stick, Death Note, The Lazarus Effect, Mortal Kombat II, and a horror movie from 2016 called Pet. Worry not, Tucker, fret not. He's also the writer for Thread and Mortal Kombat 3.
An Insidious tale from the Book of Insidious.
Yes. Anyway, little diversion there, but I think that points to some broader issues with the film.
No, of course, yeah, and I totally agree, and I think that for me is where I do feel the movie is at its weakest, is when it's trying to get you into it too much, where I think also it makes it weak as a film experience, which is both storytelling and flashy fun. I think the best movies are able to balance both, and I think this movie leans very heavily in one area. And well, first let's talk about Katana, who gets way better fleshed out, like character development and progression and meaning to her journey. I think it's a little bit rote, but I think
I'll take a timeout here. I'll take a timeout. It's Gamora, right?
Yes.
She's Gamora?
It's crazy.
Yeah, she's Gamora.
Yeah. And
anyway.
I'm not familiar enough with Mortal Kombat games or character lore to know if that's just what her story has always been. But I think that having a personal connection to the main villain of the movie and her dynamic with Jade and all this kind of stuff and the having there be stakes on both the Earth Realm and Out Realm side, I think gives this movie a little bit more balance. where it's like,
Sure.
yeah, having that like sort of, she's like a rat. She's a spy. She's like going between both sides. And that kind of stuff.
Double
like,
agent. Yeah.
Double agent. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. I'm like, I don't know. I find that like decently interesting. It's not like phenomenal, but I'm like, you know what? That's like a coherent core narrative for this movie.
Yeah, but again, it doesn't bear out in anything super interesting for me. It bears out to like she appears on Earth for the first time, and everyone stands up, and Ryan's like, "Oh, guys, don't worry, she's cool," and everyone's like, "Oh, okay, she's cool. Never mind." And everyone's like, "I guess we're cool with her." And then she doesn't really interact with our other characters until the third act with Sonya, I guess, a little bit, which I would say is an issue.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Anyway.
Yeah. Here's the other issue that I have with this movie, Tanner.
Okay.
It's for, and I have two angles to take of this, but I ultimately land on this being a criticism. For a movie series based on a game series that's all about the brutality and the death of this world, they cannot leave well enough alone. Almost every fucking character that died in the first movie is back here. And they're like they're like zombie versions, or they're not zombie versions, or they die here and they're just not dead actually. Like there are 2 actual deaths, 3 I guess. But like because Cole, Jax, and Shao Kahn are like
but again, Tucker, if they end up making the third film, we know what the premise that they tease at least for the third film is that they're going to the fucking Nether Realm to bring people back.
That's true. Yeah, but so because in the first movie, Kung Lao dies, and Sub-Zero dies, and Scorpion dies, and Kano dies, and they're all in this movie.
Yes.
And so
I think it's
like,
an issue.
Stakes-wise, I'm just like, it also makes the movie very cluttered. It's like, Tanner, did you realize that they had brought back Sub-Zero, or Bihan, I guess, until like they were like, oh shit, it's Sub-Zero. I'm like, who's this fucking guy? Like he like runs by and grabs the amulet. I'm like, what? Like that could be like one of like 17 different Mortal Kombat characters.
No, yeah, because Shao Kahn in the castle is like, look at this, I brought back Sub-Zero. His name is Bihan now, and that's why Kano and Johnny Cage go to get Scorpion.
He's like purple now. He's like a black purplish kind of thing. And Tanner, he has like a fucking Venom clone that like pops out of him. Who I called in my head Soup Zero. Because he's like liquidy. He like turns into
Tucker, we're probably showing our ass and embarrassing ourselves right now because that guy definitely exists in the games and definitely has a name.
I believe the character is Noob Saibot.
Oh yes,
but I didn't realize that. If this is true in the games, I have no fucking idea that Sub-Zero and Noob Saibot are the same character. That's probably true.
Probably.
But like, what do you think about the fact that they just bring back like every character who died in the first movie? Because I just found that like. Focus on the characters you have. You have plenty. You have enough.
Yeah.
We don't need to fucking do a whole act where Scorpion and Sub-Zero are back again.
This movie has no real interest in trying to make its writing good.
Yeah.
Its interest is in showing you the characters that it has, and so it cannot sub them out or it nix them from the story in any major way. And on a certain level, if you fucking press the Jeremy Slater on this, he's like, well, it's a fighting game, and no one's really dead because you can always select a character and bring them back, whatever. And that's what we wanted to replicate with the writing of the movie. I was like, yeah, okay, sure, fucking nerd, loser, nerd. Like, fine. Who gives a fuck? These movies aren't good anyway, and keeping these characters dead would probably not improve them by any marginal degree. You know.
Yeah, because that was the other angle. Is like as I was thinking about that, I'm like, damn, like I think it hurts the writing of the movie and the pacing of the movie to have so many extra bodies in quote unquote arcs to fill.
Certainly, it kills direction. Yeah. Whatever talent we might have behind the camera or whatever. That like we have to fit like 4 people in any given frame or whatever. Yes. And
the only one that I think plays any like positive influence on the movie is Kano being back, because he's really fucking funny in the first movie, and he's really funny. Fucking funny in this movie. His inclusion is he's the best character. He's the highlight of these fucking movies to me. But also Quan Chi brings him back, but he's not a revenant, which I believe is what they kind of call the zombie versions, which both Kung Lao
Josh Lawson. I just wanted to look up his name is Kano, but he is credited as Revenant Kano, even though he's not Revenant.
Yeah, there's like a whole thing about that they're like in an alleyway, and Quan Chi like found his body, and he's like, they're like, why
I didn't make him a zombie.
He's like, I don't know, he didn't have a soul or something. I don't know. Fucking...
Oh, that's right. He barely had a soul left to corrupt or whatever. I think it does. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think the Liu Kang Kung Lao thing is fairly solid, relatively as far as this movie goes. And I like that stuff works for me. I think that's also the best fight in the entire movie, which is also a question I had for you, is what you thought the best fight was. But it provides like a motivation for a character outside of I need to stop the world from being taken over. Is that like Liu Kang wants to save his brother from being a fucking zombie guy, and he is pretty good at that. The Liu Kang actor, again, sorry, I have to look, Ludi Lin. I find him pretty good. I like Liu Kang character. He barely has
anything to do in this movie, which is true for like everyone.
It just makes me a little disappointed because, again, going back to the 90s Paul W.S. Anderson one, like Robin Shou as Liu Kang is honestly really charismatic and is kind of the lead. He gets to be like the guy who fights Shao Kahn. Is that Shao Kahn is the villain of the first of that one, I believe, as well. But he's the one guy that gets to fight him at the end. But it's Katana here, and they do the work of setting her up and setting up that rivalry and everything, so I'm not mad about that. I was like, I don't know, I like Liu Kang as a character. He can turn into the dragon from the Mortal Kombat logo. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think that just, like, he felt very flat to me in this movie.
Fair enough.
I think the motivation, you're right, is, like, a decently unique, but in specifically this Mortal Kombat 2 movie, like, I don't know, he's like, and this is true for Jax as well, is like, they're just there. And
they're just there. A lot of the Tucker, almost every character is just there to be there.
I think there are 3 on the protagonist side that I think are like, okay, like I get it. Is Katana, Johnny Cage, and Jade. I think that the 3 of them have like kind of like arcs and they play into things in meaningful ways. Sonya is like the tutorial character of the movie.
Yes. She's like, I've been around the block. I bet I've been in a movie before.
These guys have powers. Look at them. But then Jax is just like there, Liu Kang is just there, and then also another major issue that I have with this movie is Quan Chi, Shang Tsung, and Shao Kahn. Is I'm like, so what's like the dynamic between these guys? Like, I'm like, so Quan Chi's like the necromancer, but he's also like a
Quan Chi's the necromancer. Shang Tsung is the sorcerer. Those are 2 different jobs.
And they're very important.
Little redundancy in the Shao Kahn administration, I must say.
Shang Tsung was good shit in this movie. I frankly know that it's Quan Chi.
Well, yeah, does Shang Tsung, is he the one who organizes like the assassination attempt on Raiden?
No, that's just, no, I think that's just Kung Lao, right? Or Quan Chi controlling Kung Lao, maybe?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe Shang Tsung, is he more in charge of the amulet plan? I'm trying to figure out what Shang Tsung's doing in this movie.
Well, because the only thing I really remember to like stand over Raiden, and then
he's gonna kill Raiden right before Raiden gets his powers back, which is like the main thing that I remember.
Yes.
But yeah. Anyway. What was I? What's your favorite fight in the movie? What's your favorite fight? And do you think the fights are good?
I do. Yeah, I think most of them are pretty good. I think. Yeah. I
mean,
mine. The Liu Kang and Kung Lao one is.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
They use that fucking hat within an inch of its life.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. They
love using that fucking thing.
They also like Katana's fans, which are pretty cool, pretty unique as a weapon.
Those are cool.
You know what what I don't care about weapon-wise, Tanner? Is this fucking dumb 10 rings power that fucking Sonya Blade has.
Oh yeah, I was like, so thankful.
Shut the fuck up.
I was so thankful that they didn't give Johnny Cage a beam. I was like, oh god, he's gonna learn how to do a beam. He's gonna shoot a fucking laser beam out of his face or whatever, out of his fist. I was like, at least it's like a kick. At least he does like an energy kick.
Yeah, I guess so. But also, like, I thought that was a really lame way to like end the like major fight of the movie.
Yeah, I was just so dreading that. Like, does everybody need to have a fucking beam? Yeah. That's not the Mortal Kombat deal.
Okay, Kano beam, fine.
Yeah, he's got a laser.
But it's as they're like cornering Bihan / I guess Noob Saibot / Sub-Zero / I don't give a fuck. Who has the amulet?
Yes.
It's Kano shooting an eyeball laser. It's Jade like shooting a green beam out of her staff. I'm like, I didn't know that was a thing that you could do, and also that's stupid as fuck. And then Sub-Zero takes off his mask and goes, and I'm like,
Scorpion takes off his mask.
Scorpion. He's like shooting fire out of his mouth. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? There's so much like beams like pulsating against one another. Stupid fucking.
And we need to cross the beams. We need to cross the streams,
especially the Sonya versus the Queen one where she's using her fucking Giga Scream.
Yeah.
And she's like screaming against the pink fucking rings, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
The Sonya Blade beam is where I was like, I forget. I guess probably that's in the first movie.
Yeah.
But when I saw that, I was like, I had completely forgotten, and thank God I forgot, because that is fucking awful. Yeah, I hate that she shoots beams. What the fuck, dude?
It's really dumb.
Anyway, anything else, Tucker? Anytime that Katana does, I was gonna say this. Anytime that Katana does the thing where she like her fans like stops in midair and just keeps spinning, I was like, that's cool. It's like from a video game.
Yeah. And she does and she takes the thing out. Anything.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like I don't know. It's like a thing.
I will broadly defend my position that I think the fights are broadly not great, especially towards the beginning, like that Sonya and Sidine. What's her name? Sardine.
I don't know her name. That character's barely anything in this.
Satine. Hang on. I don't know. The Queen. I forget her name. I'm sorry. No, but you're thinking of Melina.
Melina. That's a different character. Who's not in this
movie? Seidel.
Oh, is that a thing? Okay, sure, I'll give that one.
Yes. Sonya and Seidel and the Jax and the Jade fight. And what's the very first one we see? It's Katana and Johnny.
Oh no. Well, the real first one is King Jared.
Oh yeah, that one, yeah. But broadly, a lot of these, I'm just like, shit's too fucking dark, man. I can't see fucking shit. I can't see, and I just find that broadly the camera movement, especially in that Johnny and Katana fight, like the first Mortal Kombat fight or whatever. I'm just like, this is they're just like kind of running around this one house set and like climbing on top of it, and like it's so dark and foggy. I'm like, it's weird. What the fuck, dude?
It's. I think an issue this movie has production design wise is that most of the fights don't take place, or not most of them, but I would say like a good chunk of them, an unfortunately enough chunk of them, don't take place in like interesting locations. And I think that is a perfect example. I'm like, they're like in an alleyway, and I'm like, this is fucking, even in the lore of the movie, I'm like, this is fucking Mortal Kombat. Like, they should be in like a ring floating on the edge of the world with the fucking lava falls in the background and shit like that. And to be fair to this movie, I do think there are some that take place in sections like that. I think that there are, even though the fight's not great, I think the Sonya and Sheena fight in the pit
they
of
try
spikes.
something.
I'm like, that's like a place. It's like,
but also like
a mechanic there.
This pit is so small too. I was like, can we get a bigger pit of spikes? Good God, can we get something with a little more ambiance here?
Now, on one of the worst fights in the movie takes place in one of the most interesting places in the movie. The one that's actually like, it seems like a Mortal Kombat stage, which is when Shao Kahn smears the fucking floor with Cole Young.
Tucker, thank you. We do need to talk about the Cole Young of it all,
because Tanner, they know that we don't give a fuck about Cole Young, because this movie does not give a fuck about Cole Young. It is so funny how little he gets to do in this movie. It's hilarious.
Honestly, do you share this? I kind of feel bad for Louis Tan.
Sure.
I kind of feel he was like the protagonist of the Mortal Kombat remake or whatever.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, fucking boo, this guy sucks. And then they're like, well, we can't not bring him back for the second one and just not explain it. So what if he gets shuttled? Tucker, truly, I was looking at the cast list. What number name on the cast list do you think that 9? Louis Tan shows up? He is 8th on the cast list.
So close.
Yeah, it is. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he is number 8 in the cast list. It is fucking rough, man. I mean, I saw a tweet. I don't know how accurate this is, and I'm not really a screen time pocket watcher by any means, but this account said he had 50 minutes of screen time in the first movie, and he has 3 in the sequel.
Yeah, and you feel it.
Yes.
I will say, yes, okay. Do I feel bad for the actor? Like, oh man, that really is an unfortunate situation. Like, I'm sure he felt like this was going to be like a major continuing thing for him. Maybe, but also that character did kind of suck, and he's not great in this.
Remember when he's like talking to Johnny Cage, and he's like, "You gotta find a reason to do it all, man. That's why I love fighting for my wife and kids." I was like, "This guy is fucking mincemeat. Yeah. This guy is dead. Fucking just start digging his grave now."
Yeah. And then they fucking splatter his brains all across the world.
They do splatter. They do give. They do give him a.
So he's fucking.
They do acid him. He's for sure. It's so funny that they're definitely gonna bring back like Jax and Kung Lao and all these characters in the third movie. He's not coming back.
No.
There's no way in fuck he's coming back. No, I do kind of feel bad, but they also do. They do try to hang their hat on it a little bit by like, well, he technically would have beat Shao Kahn, but Shao Kahn is cheating because he's an immortal.
Yes.
And so I don't know, man. I feel bad for the actor that he gets so bumped down and demoted in the sequel, but at the same time, I was like, he's not great in the movie, and the character sucks. Yeah. So what are you gonna do?
The movie would have been worse if he was in it more, because he's also one of the only like actual deaths in the movie. Because again, I think that it's bad enough that they bring back so many of the. I mean, I think basically all the characters that died in that first film, but then they also can't commit to most of the deaths that happen in this movie. Like the fact that both Raiden and Liu Kang, who are like, fine, they're like the main characters of Mortal Kombat, but like, I mean, I don't know, that's Sub-Zero and Scorpion, but like, that they both get their fucking throat slit and they're fine. I'm like, you fucking movie, like. Have a little gumption.
Fucking movie.
Have a little fucking gumption. Because also, getting your throat slit thing is like, as we see from this movie, it happens to a bunch of people. It's like the weakest way to kill someone. It's not a Mortal Kombat ass way to kill someone.
True,
and like it, but also like it doesn't do anything to these characters. They're fucking fine. It's I just take issue with that because like the only good, frankly, for me, good Mortal Kombat kill in this movie, I think there's two. I think when Liu Kang takes down Revenant Kung Lao by flipping him in the air and slamming down his own hat. Okay, that's a fucking Mortal Kombat way to kill. And then when Katana kills Shao Kahn by like turning his head into like three slices and he falls down.
She deli meats his head, which is pretty good.
That's a good kill, yeah. But like those are like the only ones because otherwise, Tanner, people either get their throat slit and they're fine, and they die this way. They get like stabbed through the chest. Like two characters.
Shao Kahn loves to not. He only smashes one guy's head or whatever.
Yeah.
He only smashes Cole Young's head. Otherwise, he's stabbing people with the other end of his big hammer.
It's weird. Yeah. There's one more element, Tanner. One more character we haven't even mentioned.
What's that?
Baraka.
Oh, Baraka. Yes, of course. And see, this is where the Johnny Cage character turns around for me a little bit, is when he embraces being the Johnny Cage persona, which, again, I must reiterate, I don't know why. If the character arc is shitty and barely exists anyway, he just decides to be confident because someone tells him to be confident or whatever. Just have him be confident Johnny Cage the whole time. It's more fun to watch him, because as soon as he goes into Johnny fucking Cage mode in this Baraka fight, I was like, okay, now I'm in. Karl Urban is having fun. I am having fun watching him. This is cool. I like this. And yeah, I like that fight, and I like the little interplay that they have with between him and Johnny Cage. He respects him. Baraka respects Johnny Cage as a great warrior or whatever. Pretty fun. But again, and this is the one plot point of the movie that suddenly sprung to memory. I was like, something I remembered thinking was shitty in the movie. They're like, okay, we need to get Baraka on our side so we can sneak into the castle. And then we get to the bit where they're sneaking into the castle, and all Baraka does is he runs up and kills two guys, and he's like, okay, I can't go past this door. See you guys. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's something that we don't see that I think he does, is like, he maybe knows the path to get to the secret tunnel, or like, it's something that only people of his species can like access with whatever fucking, like, there's something there that we don't see that he's what he actually is there for. But you're right that it's like, what the fuck is
what we see, which is pretty important for a movie,
no,
is what you showed to us. Is Baraka taking out 2 guys, and then 4 characters who we've seen slaughter many other like minions and goons or whatever, walk up behind Baraka. Was like, phew, sure glad Baraka did that. I was like, you could have done that. You outnumbered them 2-1.
Yeah, if that's like the secret entrance to the castle, or whatever, like it's not that well guarded.
No, it's 2 guys.
Yeah, it's 2 guys, and also all the like Shao Kahn goons really fucking useless in this movie. They don't do anything.
Oh yeah, I mean useless stuff.
I did like the moment when Kano lines up 3 of them and she's like, oh no, you're a little bit to the left.
Yeah, exactly. Tiger, what'd you think of the Ed Boon cameo?
I mean, he's not a very good actor, but like that, I didn't expect him to be. he kind of bungled his only line.
You're usually a little bit.
He's a little bit slump.
You're usually a little bit more animated. Johnny.
Okay, Ed.
Sure. That's all I got, really.
One other thing is, I did actually quite like the Uncaged Fury scene that we get to see, the Johnny Cage action movie. Fine. Specifically because I wasn't watching Johnny Cage, and they did this on purpose. It's fucking excellent. The guys in the background who are doing... They're moving around like this, so that, with the in-world like movie making idea being there's more shit going on the screen. Like they're not just standing there, like they're like bobbing.
Yeah.
Even though he's not attacking
fighting them,
they wait there and they take their turn and they duck under his punch or whatever. And there's like this feeling. I'm like, this is like some shitty B movie stuff. Like it's a nice touch. I was like watching this and I was like paying attention. I'm like, you fucking know what you're doing, and it's great.
Yeah. That setting and that scene, by the way, is a callback to the Johnny Cage intro of that Paul W.S. Anderson movie. It's basically like the same movie or like setting. It's like a shipyard and there's boxes and there's ninjas and there's guys that roll up in a car or whatever.
They do with a bazooka?
They do add the woman with the bazooka. That is new and a little bit. I will say, interesting, not something that really pertains to this review, but like interesting, like the Flanderization of like 80s action movies or 90s action movies. That was like, I mean, I'm thinking about a movie that was made in the 90s, satirizing shitty action movies of the time, and now this is like 25, 30 years later, and it's like, oh yeah, and there's a lady with a rocket launcher, and she shoots a helicopter or whatever. It was like, it's just interesting how those things get like exaggerated and interpolated over time. I also think, hang on, there's something in my head that tells me that original Johnny Cage actor makes a cameo in this too. I'm trying to find him in the cast list.
Oh, really? Yeah, I've actually never seen the movie, so I wouldn't know.
Hang on, because I'm trying to remember what scene he's in, but I remember clocking him, and I cannot for the life of me remember what scene he was in. Because when he goes back to the bar, Ed Boon is there. And
the guy who's a big fan, who's like genuinely a big fan, there's like no bit there. He's just like, oh man, that kind of sucks. The users are sad. Oh. It's a weird scene.
Yeah. Anyway, Tucker, what score are you gonna give this? I'm gonna see if I can find this.
What
score are you gonna give?
I'm gonna say this is a 5.3 out of 10. It's like I was like surprised by like at least having a decent time with it. But as we're talking about it, I'm like, okay, I think that the action sequences are fun enough. I don't know how much I'm really going to remember them. Certainly the ones from the first movie have not stuck with me at all. I couldn't tell you a single scene in that fucking film. But it fixed some issues that I had, and it's like it's watchable enough. So I'm not down on it, but it's just like it's very, very neutral for me.
Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna go 4 out of 10. 3. I'll go 3.5. I mean, I just really did not care for this one. I would say. Sorry. Yeah.
What do you think? What score would you give the older ones? Are those like better in your estimation?
I mean, I don't know. Like maybe I just have maybe this is some bias or some dissonance in my brain where I was like, those just seem a little bit more earnest in their approach, and they're also like a punchy, breezy 90 minutes where they're like character introductions. We're doing Mortal Kombat. They're cheesy. They're fun. They're they're not really hat hanging or anything like that. And like they indulge in like the dumbness of Mortal Kombat without feeling the need to like undercut it or rationalize it to the audience. I mean, when Johnny Cage fights Scorpion in that movie, they do the thing inexplicably they do the thing where he like throws an autographed photograph on the ground and it like sort of gets eaten up by flame or whatever. It's like, this makes no sense in the context of the movie, but they do it because it's a thing from the video game, but in a way that is not annoying, in a way that generally feels like, well, we'll do it because it's from the video game. Mm-hmm. And it just brings the seriousness and like I'm sorry to use this word, pretension, of like trying to legitimize and make blockbuster these versions of the movie. It just brings that down a notch to a level where I'm like, we're all having fun and we're all recognizing that this is stupid and cheesy, but we're still attaching like craft and real commitment to it. I will also say, those guys are better fighters than the actors in these movies.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, Robin Shou and whoever, again, the guy they get to play Johnny Cage and the woman they get to play Sonya Blade and Melina and Katana and all these stuff. I was like, these are clearly like trained martial artists who are now doing this. And I think that Paul W.S. Anderson is just able to shoot those fist fights better.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I think Simon McQuoid, like, this is just, I mean, apparently looking at his filmography, there's only 2 films he's done. I think he's like a commercial director otherwise, and so I just don't think there's much of a directorial edge to it.
Mm-hmm. And like, maybe it is just my disposition about like, modern blockbusters and reboots and remakes and adapting video games in the modern era. But like, I could not for the life of me imagine turning this on a random night and having fun watching it. I could certainly see myself doing that with that Paul W.S. Anderson movie.
Very fair. Yeah. All right. Well, those are our scores. Those are our thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time.